Hello, my name is Mark. Today I'm creating this YouTube video for anyone that would be interested in hiking the Lake of the Hanging Glacier, which is located in the Purcell Mountains in the West Kootenays. So first of all, I'll explain what to expect. The famous draw obviously is going up to the glacier there. It's called Jumbo Glacier. And below it there's a glacier lake, turquoise in color, that's absolutely beautiful and stunning. And there's actually a lot of pieces of glacier or ice that are floating in the lake, so it's pretty cool. I'm excited to try out this hike. I've never actually been up there, so this is a new experience for me. So throughout the video I'll be encountering these things for the first time. So I hope the video is informative, and if you like it, please hit like down below, and please subscribe to my channel. This is the first video I'm doing, so hopefully you enjoy it. So other things I should talk about is the location of the Lake of the Hanging Glacier hike. So first of all, if you're coming from overseas, you're probably wondering, okay, what is the closest town? The closest town would be Radium, British Columbia, but the closest city is actually Calgary, Alberta. Now a lot of people would assume that, well, maybe I should come through Vancouver. You could do that too, but from Vancouver to the town of Radium, it's about a 9-hour drive. From Calgary, it's only 3 hours. Calgary is a good place to start off with. They've got a big international airport there. It's a city of over 1 million people, a lot of hotels, a lot of things to do around the Calgary area. And from Calgary to Banff, it's about an hour and a half. And then from the town of Banff to Radium, it's another hour and a half. So you're looking at 3 hours. But I highly recommend stopping in the town of Banff and spending some time there too, or Canmore, or the Kananaskis area there. There's a lot of great hikes there too, but we're not talking about that place. We're talking about the Lake of the Hanging Glacier in particularly. So from Calgary, it's about 3-hour drive. So what you want to do is when you get into Calgary, you want to get into Highway number 1, head westward. You pass the town of Banff, and then stay on Highway number 1, and then you're going to turn off on Junction 93, which is the Kootenay National Park. And then from there, it's about an hour and a half to Radium. Now the best time to go on this hike would be July, August, and September. I've done a lot of other hikes in the area, and if you go even in June or May, there's a chance of snow or roads being washed out. So your safest bet would be July, August, early September. Another thing I should talk about is that you are in the Purcell Mountains there. A lot of people assume that it is the Rocky Mountains, but it isn't. So the Rocky Mountains starts in Alberta and ends in the East Kootenays. So when you get into the town of Radium, you're going to see a valley. On the east side is the Rocky Mountains, and on the west side is the beginning of the Purcell Mountain Range. And that's where this particular hike is. So once you get into Radium, you're going to want to get on to Horse Thief Road. The best way of getting there is just go to the sawmill. Radium's a small town, so you just ask the locals, how do I get to the sawmill? You find the road. The road splits into two. One leads right to the sawmill. The other one is Horse Thief Road. It's about 50 kilometers from there to the base of the hike. And then the hike is about 8 kilometers up, and of course 8 kilometers down. Another thing is, I think I talked about this already, the elevation is about 700 meters. So if you decide to camp, it is going to be quite a hike. If you just do a day hike, just bring water and a day pack, and you won't have to worry. So this is the first time for me to do this hike. I hope you enjoy this video, and hopefully it's informative. please hit like down below and subscribe to my channel, and here we go. Alright, made it to Radium Hot Springs, British Columbia. I'm just going to show you quick some of the scenery around here. So to the west there, those are the Purcell Mountains. As you can see, there's a beautiful valley there. That's the Columbia River that runs through the valley. There's a large lake that's actually further down, probably about 30 kilometers. It'll reach Windermere Lake. Beautiful lake, great lake to go boating in. This lake this river here, I've paddleboarded and tubed it and kayaked it. It's a great place to see wildlife. You can see things such as blue herring, beavers, deer coming to the water to drink, and different types of birds, eagles, ospreys, you name it. Over there is the Radium Golf Course. So again, this side over here is the Purcell Mountains, and that would be west of Radium. And then on the east side, sorry, just going up the hill here because I don't have a great view of the east side. See a little bit of the mountains there, but on the east side is the Rocky Mountains. There, you see a little bit of it. So, I'm going to proceed over to that trail, the Lake of the Hanging Glacier. So I hope you guys enjoy the trek, and the weather is great, so I think it's going to be a great trip. So I'm just driving towards the hiking trail there. There's a few things I forgot to mention. First of all, how long the hike is. It's about 9 kilometers from the base of the trail to the top there. So that'd be about 5.6 miles. As well, when you get to the town of Radium, you actually have to drive about an hour, I think, to get to that place where the trail starts. So what you want to do is, when you get into Radium, you want to go on to Horse Thief Road and there proceed westward. Probably the best advice I could give if you want more thorough information on how to get there is check out the British Columbia website, the province of British Columbia that is, and if you go under the recreation and trails and just look for Hanging Glacier Hanging Glacier Lake, and it should give you all the details there. So I hope that helps, and yeah, looking forward to the hike. I got my 2 friends with me, and they're obviously passed out here, so I guess I will be driving, and I'm gonna crank up the tunes here to wake them up. Right, on my way to the hiking trail here. This is the road that leads to it. It's a gravel road that's pretty bumpy. As you can see, there's a creek running right through the road here, so that's something to keep in mind. I definitely would recommend getting a vehicle like a truck or something with 4x4. Alright, finally made it to Lake of the Hanging Glacier recreational trail here. So from Horse Thief Road, it took approximately an hour and 40 minutes. It's about 50 kilometers from there. Just to warn you, the road is really rough, so definitely make sure that you have a vehicle like a truck or some type of 4x4. A lot of the creeks have eroded the road there, as you could see in the previous videos that I posted. So yeah, that's one word of advice, but this is a very remote area, so if you do come out here, make sure you're well prepared.
done?
Yeah, recording right now. So I've got my bear spray here, just in case we run into some trouble here. As you can see, this trail is pretty rugged here. There's a lot of creeks that run through it. So
Can you zoom out?
oh yeah, and I've got a map here too. Ooh. Tells you the elevation that we're going to in the trail. So definitely something you want to take.
I'm not sure it's focused.
That's fine.
It's alright.
Thank you. Alright. Just something to keep mindful of when doing this trek. There's a lot of fallen logs. So you're definitely going to get a good workout. So be prepared.
Fuck me, eh? Good fucking hike, boy. Who has the music? Whoop! Oh boy. Now you're asking something. It's far. So just taking a little bit of water break here. Whew, that's an intense hike. There's a lot of fallen trees, so you're definitely going up and down, up and down. Definitely get in shape to do this this trek here because it's pretty intense, but otherwise it's definitely worth it. Finally made it to Hanging Glacier Lake. It's quite an intense hike, but definitely worth it. It's absolutely beautiful here. Now, this is located about 50 kilometers from Radium, and then it takes about 3 hours from the base of the trail. Just to warn you, it is pretty steep. There's a lot of fallen trees, so you're constantly climbing over and under trees. Me and my friends, we brought our camping gear, so we definitely didn't pack light, so it was quite the workout, but definitely worth it. Yeah, so I'm definitely glad I came here. It's absolutely beautiful. Give you a 360-degree view here. Definitely recommend coming up here. I'd probably recommend just coming for a day trip. It's a pretty intense hike, so that way you don't have to pack all that gear, but I think it's going to be fun here camping anyways. Alright, got my tent set up here, so it's cooled down quite a bit. Apologize about the abrupt end to the video when we got up there at the Hanging Glacier Lake campsite there. Unfortunately, my Nikon battery ran out, so I just wanted to give you guys a brief description of what happened. So when we got up there, the weather changed quite a bit in temperature-wise. At the base of the camp, it was probably around 30 degrees Celsius. When we arrived up at the site there by the glacier and the lake, it was probably around 14 degrees Celsius. We arrived there around 7:30. Probably around right before sunset, it cooled off quite a bit. I don't know the exact temperature, but I definitely had to put on a jacket and a sweater. So keep in mind, if you're going to stay overnight there, to bring warm clothes. Another thing that we encountered was the change in weather. So first of all, we started a campfire, which was permitted. There was no fire ban at the time. But what happened was, while we were around the campfire, wind gusts came all of a sudden. It felt like over 50-kilometer wind gusts. Again, don't quote me on that, but it was pretty powerful. And next thing you know, the ashes from the fire spread onto a log, and the log caught on fire. So me and my friends, we only had our water bottles. We ran. Luckily, we were right beside the creek. Or sorry, not the creek. Yeah, we were beside the creek. And we were able to get to the creek quick and pour water and put both fires out. So keep that in mind. The weather does change, and if you're going to go to sleep, make sure you definitely put out the fire. So that was a big problem that we encountered. Again, it took us 45 minutes just to put out both fires. So definitely take precautions. Otherwise, the trip went good. The weather does change. One thing I did find annoying was the wind gusts kept shaking my tent. I'm a sensitive sleeper, but regardless, you're out in nature, and when I woke up in the morning, I was fine. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I apologize about the audio here. I'm just using a Nikon camera. I did buy a GoPro, so my other videos will definitely be much better quality. So thank you again for watching. I hope it was informative. If you've done this hike before, feel free to add comments down below. Take care.